What's the biggest loophole you've ever exploited? This loophole I learned from someone else on Reddit, but I'll share it for those who may not know. If you have a Planet Fitness plan, and can't cancel it online, change your home gym to a random one in California. Then you can cancel it online. You're correct, and it's not just Planet Fitness. It's anything you've signed up for. California law requires that any business who allows you to subscribe online must also allow you to cancel online. You are welcome, America. I used to bartend, and would have to pay for parking, either on the street, which was a pain, since I would have to re-up in the middle of my shift, and often forgot, or in a paid parking lot. Found a parking garage that used a ticket machine on the way in, but did you pay a person on the way out? 90% of the time, there would be no one working late night when I left work, so I scored free parking for a few years. LOL, during the .com days I had a job interview, and the execs told me the same thing as one of the benefits of the job. Parking garage was insanely expensive, but all the other businesses on the campus ended their days around 4:30 or 5 p.m. The garage staff left before 6 every day, and the job had regular work hours till 6. Didn't get that job, but I laughed at their free parking perk. I used my college ID nearly until my 40s, for discounts. A few years back, a cashier at a local hardware store gave me a "really?" look that cut right to my soul, which made me stop using it. I did this for forever too. Like, you had stopped working in my 40s, so I took one class at the local college, and got a new college ID. Now I use the new one. I brought my college report cards to Chuck E. Cheese a few times. They'd always pause, then realize their policy only said, "Bring in your report card and get free tokens for A's and B's, nothing about age limits." And then give me a bunch of free tokens. When my brother and I lived together, he worked for a large chain restaurant. They had a policy where if someone called in an order for pickup, and didn't pick it up by closing time, it was free game for the employees to take home. Occasionally, I would call in orders for pickup, never pick it up, and he'd just take it home for us. I'm not proud of it. We were both broke AF at the time, and most days, it was the only food we could get. Edit, I'm no longer broke, so, whenever I buy food from this place, I make sure to leave a heavy tip, I guess as a thank you to the chain for keeping me alive, but mostly to ease my guilt. I worked for an organization that ordered large amounts of groceries every week for their group activities from a major supermarket. There was a place to put in your loyalty card number, so I just used mine. Not only did I get heaps of points to use in shopping there, no one noticed it until about 5 years after I left. Edit. I wasn't a supermarket employee or other insider exploiting my employer. We were a totally unrelated business who bought from them. When I was tasked with setting up the account to purchase online, there was a form to fill out. My business didn't have a loyalty card, and wasn't interested in getting one. So, I just used mine. It was a set and forget type of thing. The supermarket also had, in addition to our business landline, my mobile number, and the delivery people would contact me directly if they had any problem at 6:30 a.m. when they brought the stuff. I don't really know if anyone ever noticed it or not. Probably either A, they changed their supplier, or B, someone else taking care of the account put in their number instead. I tend towards option B. They didn't ask for the points back, because they hadn't been interested in them in the first place. For years, I also kept getting calls from various suppliers, who somehow still had my mobile number. I kept redirecting them to the office, and telling them I didn't work there anymore. It hasn't happened for a while now. There used to be a glitch in my Domino's app that would give free extra cheese as long as you waited until it asked if you wanted it. If you added it yourself, it would charge you. It worked for a few years until I got a new phone. Let me tell you about the night of 6 free pizzas. It was Pittsburgh, 1982, 2 a.m. on a cold winter night. Studying in my dorm common room with friends. Pizza was inevitable. Back then, Domino's was pretty hardcore on their delivery guarantee, especially in college towns. If they were 1 second past 30 minutes, the pizza is free, and your next pizza is free. So, we order a large pizza and start the timer. Go down to the lobby, and Domino's guy comes huffing and puffing in, but too late. He's at 31 minutes. Free pizza, and free next pizza. So, we start with 2 free pizzas. Back upstairs and open box. Wrong toppings. Call Domino's and complain. they'll send out another pizza, and another free one. Then we get a call from the lobby, like a minute later. Domino's is here for us, but way too fast. Go down and get the pizza, different driver, but gives it to us for free, and a coupon for another free pizza. Now 4 free pizzas. Back up to room, it has the right toppings this time. We dig in, and get another call. Domino's is here again. But it is the first driver coming back. With another pizza, and another free pizza coupon. 6 free pizzas. Pretty sure, we first got somebody else's pizza by mistake, which is what triggered the event chain. DR, Domino's logistics collapse, college kids, get 6 free pizzas. When I was in high school, I accidentally found a soda machine that dispensed free grape soda. I hit the button randomly, while passing by, and a grape soda came out. I did it again the next day, just to see, and more free grape soda. It must have been busted, or some sort of strange glitch. For the entire school year, I would pass by, and hit grape on my way home, and get a free grape soda. I wasn't stupid about it, either. I kept that shit to myself. I wasn't about to ruin my free grape soda by telling everyone. When my son was in high school, he went to one that was connected to the community college. Starting in 10th grade, he could take college classes. So, he chose classes whose credits would apply to both high school graduation and an associate degree. He also favored accelerated 7-week courses. He graduated high school with an associate degree and transferred 49 credits to his 4-year university. Back in the days, when Groupon was new, and so there were real deals to be had, I purchased a 1 for a free sub from a big sandwich chain. The process for redemption was to order your sandwich in line like normal, and at the point where you'd pay, you held up your phone, and the employee at the register would click the redeem button on your phone, then comp the sandwich. I would pull up the Groupon, turn off cellular data, and then let the employee redeem the Groupon. As soon as they had done so, and I walked out with my food, I would uninstall and reinstall the Groupon app. This prevented it from simply relaying the redemption the next time data was available. I did this nearly every day until the Groupon expired, usually for a couple weeks. I bought the Groupon every time it showed up, usually every other month. Probably over 100 free subs. Such times, the late noughts. Around 2008, the US Mint was trying to get more people to use the new dollar coins. You could buy some via their website, and they would ship them to you for free. Those purchases would earn you points on your credit card. I bought $10,000 worth of coins, then took those coins to the bank, so I could pay my $10,000 bill. I would then buy another $10,000 and repeat. A few 100,000 air miles later, and I'm still using those free miles, in 2024. They eventually did close the loophole, but some people, with huge lines of credit, were able to get millions of free air miles. Back in university, when Windows 10 was new, they offered free licenses for students. They used a third-party website that didn't have actual limits, and even had a drop-down menu to select the amount of licenses you want. I think I got 10 licenses that way, but if I wanted, I could have gotten hundreds. And they were legit Windows 10 education license codes, and not tied to any account. When lava cakes first rolled out on the Domino's app, rather than selling them only in 2-packs as they do now, there was a drop-down pick list, where you could select the specific number of cakes you wanted. For whatever reason, if you selected one cake only, it was added to your cart with no price, $0. You could then go into the cart, and change the quantity of that $0 lava cake, to whatever number you wanted. I was worried at first that I'd get found out, so I would only order one. Then I got bold and ordered 2, and they came just as they do now, 2 in a pack. No charge. I decided to push it one time, and ordered 8 lava cakes with just 2 medium pizzas. Total bill was $16. Thought for sure someone at the store would realize something was wrong, sending out 2 pizzas and 8 cakes, for $16. Nope, minimum wage employees don't give a F, they just see the order and fill it. After that, I was like, the dawn of crunch cakes, you want a crunch cake? You got one. I must have gotten hundreds of those things over the course of 3 to 4 months. Eventually, I knew it would come to an end. I was going to write to Domino's in hopes they'd give me a gift card, or something, for exposing the glitch, but my GF at the time was like, dude, don't blow your cover, they'll just fix it, and not give you anything, so I didn't. Less than a month later, they patched the problem, and I still regret not being the whistleblower, and maybe getting some free pizza. As a totally random button on this story, years later, I was helping my company develop their website, and I flew to Detroit to work directly with the developer. At lunch on the first day, we were talking shop, and the dev told me, one of their claims to fame, was developing the Domino's Pizza tracker. I was like, wait, did you just do the tracker, or the whole site? Turns out, they did the whole site, the app, and tracker. I mentioned my lava cake scheme, and the dev almost fell out of his chair. He was like, I totally remember that issue, and patching it. He was floored. I had the inside scoop on that site glitch, he assumed nobody knew about. Signed up for a free trial on Audible. When I went to cancel it, offered me a free credit to stay. Took the free credit, went to cancel again, and offered another free credit to stay. Got about 25 credits in one day, before I chickened out, and officially canceled. Did something similar with an NYD digital subscription. Supposed to be $20 per month, I started my subscription at a deal of $10 per month, and when it expired, a year later, they offered what I think they meant to be half off full price, but instead gave me half off my current price. That happens every year. I'm somehow still at $4 per month. I had found out and abused the fact that Bed Bath & Beyond had a birthday reward loophole. I essentially had created multiple BBB accounts, set the birthday to next day, and hit $5 birthday gift card rewards, rolling on the next day. It also turned out, you were able to stack them together into one account, so I cashed out about $600 worth of them, to buy my mom expensive kitchen appliances. Ninja Creamy and Ninja Smart Foodie, great products, use them almost every day. And if you requested to cancel your order, you would get one gift card with the full balance. So, instead of just being able to use $5 by 20 gift cards in one order, you could use $5 by 20, x 20. I don't remember the limit of GCS exactly, but was somewhere between 10 and 20. Got some nice Ninja and KitchenAid things. It was a multi-step process, but damn, it felt good. A local grocer had coupons for $1 off a 32 ounces Gatorade, branded by Gatorade. So, they worked at multiple retailers. I clipped a bunch of them. Then I went to Walmart down the street, and loaded my cart with as many Gatorades as coupons. At the register, the cashier was baffled. I was buying so many Gatorades. I was in high school. She scanned all my Gatorades, and the total was something like $68. Then I had her apply a price match to Meijer's price, something like 0.88 cents each, bringing the total down a bit. But it doesn't stop there. Then I had her scan all of my coupons, deducting $1 for each Gatorade in my cart. The look on her face was hilarious, as my total went lower and lower each scan of a coupon, eventually passing zero, and showing a negative value. After ringing them all up, she got smug, and said, "I bet you think you're pretty smart, getting all of these for free." I looked at the total on the screen, then at her, and said, "Oh no, not free. I actually think I have some change coming back." Her jaw hit the floor, as she called her manager, and was told, indeed, that she had to also shell around $8 out of the register, and hand it to me. What a feeling that was. In college, I was dating this girl who worked at the bookstore, which had an ATM. She texted me, informing me, the ATM was giving out $20 bills instead of $5, so, if you withdrew $15 it'd give you $60. I and my friends, and like 7 other people, who happened to find out, made quite a bit of money that day. I only made a few hundred, because I was broke at the time, and only had so much to withdraw. Some people were there for a long time though. Everyone was super respectful about it. They'd withdraw, get their $60, and then move to the back of the line, and do it again. Not one argument about hurrying up, or anyone trying to double withdraw. Just broke college kids, living in harmony, stealing from a bank. Was beautiful. No one got in trouble. We were bugging for a while. The machine was completely cleaned out of $20, by the time the ATM people came. Girl I was dating, said, she heard them say, it was well over $10K. This reminds me of the time, my brother and his best friend, discovered that the Coinstar machine, in our local grocery store, was malfunctioning, and registering 2 coins to every one put in. Once they noticed this, they started making trips between there and the bank, to get more coins. Somebody noticed 2 days later, and unplugged the machine, but they made several $100s in the meantime. In college, there were these snack and soda machines with conveyor belts. The door that led to where you picked up the item, was a plastic door flap that didn't lock. If you bought something and held the door shut, the machine would end up returning your money, and the item would remain on the belt. You could then buy something else, or the same thing, and a second item would drop to the belt, next to the prior purchase. Again, holding the door shut would force the machine to return your money. You could do this as many times as you wanted, provided all the items fit on the belt. Being a poor college student, when I realized it did this, I was able to get a few days' worth of drinks and snacks for the price of one. I recognize this as stealing now, but at the time, I just thought, cool, I don't have to buy lunch tomorrow. I was leaving an abusive ex, and he had made me put our apartment only in my name. I was gonna have to pay a bunch of money to break the lease. Until I looked at it, and realized they had put the wrong year for the lease ending. They had done the year before, so, legally, my lease was over, and I had technically been month to month. The manager was super pissed when I pointed this out, and that I did not have to pay any lease break fee, or additional rent, past my submitted move-out date. They tried to hit me with a bunch of maintenance and cleaning fees after. But I had picture proof, the place was in the exact condition I'd rented it in. So, they informed me I would never be able to rent at any of their properties again. Which was super dumb. I've always been a really great tenant, anywhere I've rented, and I was not going to let them do anything legally that could F me over. But that whole lease thing was a huge relief, and very helpful during the worst time of my life. When I was studying, I used to take the train home almost every weekend. There used to be a perk with the first-class ticket, that you could rebook the train if you missed it in a 24-hour window after it departed. I figured that the only way they would know if I missed the train was that if they scanned my ticket. So, I just put on something that made me look like I belong, and then I pretended to be asleep when the conductor came to check the tickets. This worked almost always, so I had 2 tickets, one for each direction, that I just rebooked into the next week. The first class had single seating, free coffee, biscuits, OJ, and water. It was almost empty usually, so, very nice and quiet. The train otherwise was usually always booked near full, but people didn't want to pay the 50% more for the first class. I think I got woken up like 5 times during the 3 years I studied, so I paid about €320 for about 100 first-class trips on those trains. I guess they realized people were doing this, and it was changed as an optional add-on to the ticket, and had to be rebooked before departure. I got a hefty, $300 plus, parking ticket out of state. The officer wrote down the correct license plate number, make, model, and color, but used an incorrect state abbreviation. I fought it, and won. I was pulled over for speeding by a cop who was sitting on the side of the road. The posted limit was 35, and I was doing 65 to 70. He didn't have a radar gun, or any other way, to prove I was speeding, so he put down at least 55 miles per hour. I contested, and asked how he knew I was speeding, and he had to admit it was a guess, based on experience. He was right, but couldn't prove it, so it was tossed. I did stop speeding in small towns, though. Juul Vapes had a starter pack for $60. Shop down the street from my house had them 50% off. Inside the $30 starter kit was a $50 survey offer. I bought 10 starter packs, made a couple $100. Little did I know, these surveys would come every month, each time, $50. I made thousands. A telco in Australia had a $40 by 24-month contract for a phone that was worth like $1,100. However, when you cancelled, they charged you 50% of the remaining contract price. So, you could have a new phone for less than half price by signing the contract, getting the phone, and paying the cancellation fee the next day. I got me and my partner new phones, but in the forums, there was people who were doing this for like 20 or so phones, and then reselling them and making a decent profit. Back in the day, the UK video game store, Game, were running an online competition that had a prize every time, usually just a small coupon. But the top prize was an Xbox Kinect, which had just come out. There was a limit to 1 entry per email address per day, but you could enter up to 10 email addresses of friends as a referral with every entry, and if they won, you would also win. Of course, each referral email could also enter 10 more referrals. I had my own email hosting, and had every possible email address at this domain, 1 at, 2 at, etc., redirect to my main mailbox. I just entered a few thousand times, with a little helper script, to automatically fill the referral email addresses. Over about a week of doing it on and off, I won the top prize of a Connect. They didn't let my referral email address also have a Connect, so, only one prize, not two. This was back before CAPTCHAs were being widely used. Still by far my biggest exploit, based on them, assuming you don't have access to unlimited different email addresses. This isn't exactly a loophole, it's more an unknown exploit. In the UK, if you work for a large business, they have to spend 0.5% of the salary bill for the apprenticeship levy. They need to spend this money within 3 years, or it's forfeited to the government. One of the apprenticeships you can do is level 7. These are the level of a master's degrees. I got a £25,000 MBA, for free, paid by my employer, with zero strings attached. Blockbuster ran an ad in a magazine about doing 3 trade-ins for a new game, $59.99, no sports trade-ins. They had another coupon for X dollars off, I forgot how much, but we did that special so many times, they ended up shutting it down at our local branch. Walmart stocked the aisles wrong one night. They left the 4 packs of Red Bull in the pallets, and put it under the sign, saying, 4.99. My brother worked at Walmart, and told us they'd honor whatever pricing they advertised. We ended up with 120 Red Bulls, for $25. Walmart also spider-locked their DVD collections together, instead of locking a single box. We convinced the teller to give it to us, for the price of 1 unit. I used to work at Staples many years ago, and every item that we sell has a status. For example, A status stands for active, C status stands for clearance, and F status stands for final. For whatever reason, when an item goes to F status, the price drops dramatically. I'm talking a desk that was $250 would ring up for $8.50. Also, because it was no longer an active item, that meant it was no longer on display on the sales floor, so anything that would not sell would just sit in the back unnoticed. I used to run a report in our system constantly, and it would list everything that our location had in stock under F status. There was a time when like 1/3 of my furniture at home was F status items, and I paid probably $50 total for it all. Got my first DSLR with lens for $250. Regular price was over $1,000. It was a great time to be alive. Kohl's did something similar. I spotted something in the system during inventory that was in D status, removed from product distribution, for $4. Thought I'd check it out. I literally had to do a triple take when I realized it was a 6-piece Samsonite luggage set in my favorite color, hard shell. Close to $900 retail. I still use it 15 years later.